Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah.
Oh, what it is, yeah, it's been a minute. What it is, good people, welcome back to a new episode of In Music. I am your host, Rapson the Guru Dembe. R-A-P-S-O-N. Rapson. Don't forget it. Thank you very much for coming back. It is a Friday, so you know what we're doing. It's Behind the Industry. On Behind the Industry, we give you information about the music industry that you should know, that you should be knowing, or that will help you get closer to your dreams. Now, today's episode of In Music is, I don't want to say a lot because I say a lot. I want to say something else that will show Uguti, hey, bruh, it's going down. And the only way I can say it is, it's a lot. It's a lotness of a lotness. Now, it's a lotness because we're talking about something that is very important. And every artist in the music industry at some point has either alluded to it or mentioned it. And that is music rights. Music rights is a lot. So we're going to be dividing it into hopefully 3 episodes that explain this as best as I can. So this episode will in general be the introduction to music rights. Now music rights refers to what happens to the music after it's recorded and the master recording exists and is put out to the public, who owns it, who gets compensated for it, and how they get compensated for it. It's a lot, right? It's already a lot. So let's dive straight into it. In South Africa, music rights were introduced in 1960. In the 1960s, that's when we got introduced to the music rights in South Africa, and from there we formed 6 bodies. These bodies are collectively known as CMOs, which is collective management organizations. And these CMOs include SAMPRA, SAMRO, IMPRA, RISA, Capasso, and there's one more that I am forgetting, and we will get in touch with as we keep going. Now, these 6 bodies exist because they, instead of one, these 6 bodies exist because they need to be administrating different parts of a song. So in one song that you're hearing, there are different parts that all these 6 bodies exist and need to administrate in. Let's dive straight into it. Now, a song, when you hear a final song, when you're listening to a song and it's amazing, and Mtundini is banging in your ears and it's going down with Javeli piano, there are 2 separate copyrights that are at play at that moment. There's the copyright in composition and the copyright in sound recording. Now, both these copyrights exist in different entities in one song. We're gonna dive straight into. We've been diving. We're gonna end up in a deep dark hole. Let's pull ourselves out. So we have 6 CMOs that exist, and there are 2 copyrights, right, that exist in a song when it's being played. It's the copyright in composition and the copyright in sound recording. We're gonna go into the first one, which will be the copyright in composition, also known as the upstream rights. Upstream rights is a term that is used as a bundle for all the rights that exist in this point of the music making. This is the forming stage of the song. This is when we're coming up with the lyrics, melodies, instruments, arrangements. Producers are still working out things that needs to happen. I say producers because at times it can be more than one, and we already know what a producer is based on our last episode. So, in this forming stage, lyrics are being written, songs are being made, melodies people are coming up with melodies, and a whole lot of things is happening. Now, the people that are responsible for administrating all these rights that exist in this place, in this stage, is Capasso and Samro. They're the ones that are heading up this division and making sure that everyone who needs to get paid gets paid. And the people that I've already mentioned that do all those things are the ones that need to get paid. So if you do any of the aforementioned things, those are the 2 places that you need to be registered in order for you to be making moolah. This also shows you that you may not be the one with the right voice, but you may know how to pen that song down. So do it and register with these 2 bodies, and you'll still be making money in music. So now we're moving on to the next one. The next one is the one that is called the downstream rights. And the downstream rights are the copyright in sound recording. Now, sound recording is the obvious next step after we've come up with the ideas, we've wrote the lyrics, we've made the beats, we've produced almost everything. The only thing that needs to happen next is the sound recording. It explains itself, right? So we go into studio and we make the song. Once we start making the song, the one who paid for that whole session, that whole studio session, is usually the one who owns the song. The master recording is owned by the person who paid for the studio time. Crazy. This is a crazy fact to me because I feel like this is where record labels, major, hit artists over the head because they would not tell you that this is where they get their money. So they invest in you, they pay for your studio time, they pay for all these things. At the end of the day, they own the master recording because it says whoever pays for the studio time owns the master recording. This is crazy. This is why artists pride themselves in building home studios or recording a hit song in their garages because they genuinely own everything at the end of the day. So we should be clapping for them. We should. So another crazy fact that I came across with this is the fact that as a composer, right, when you're the composer of a song, if you're not also the performing artist, you have no rights in this section of the rights part, the copyright. You have no rights here. If you're not the performing artist and you're just a composer, you are left in the upstream rights. Now, every other person that has a vested interest has rights in this parts of the copyright segment, which would be the performing artist, the instrumentalist, the person who made the beats. If the producer did hire a beat maker, like a drummer or anything like that, this is where they will come in and make their money. And the producer, this is where everyone has rights to the music. Now, this is administered by all the other four parties that I have not mentioned, which would be Capasso, not Capasso, because Capasso has already been mentioned, Impra, Sampra, Risa, and Echo. See, told you I'll remember all six of them. Now we got all six of them. It's Capasso, Samro, Impra, Sampra, Echo, and Risa. And the other four administrate in the downstream rights. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm losing myself as I speak, but I hope you're understanding. So I'll simplify everything because this is just the introduction to music rights. There are two separate rights that are at play when you hear a final song, and those rights are the copyright in composition and the copyright in sound recording. They called what? The upstream and downstream. The one that is responsible in each of this for the upstream is Capasso and Samro, and the one that is responsible in the downstream is Impra, Samra, Risa, and Echo. Those are the ones that are responsible for this. Next week, we're going to dive into what they do, who gets paid, how they get paid, why they get paid, and we'll understand everything at the end of the day. This has been InMusic. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot, and it proved to be a lot more than I thought, even myself. Thank you very much for tuning in to part 1 of Music Rights. See you next week. I'm out with love.